Something I realized not too long ago is that a lot of weapons in this game, nobody uses in the game's natural progression. And if you somehow find these weapons, you kind of just go, huh, neat, and throw it into the abyss of your never-ending inventory. But one day I was like, what if I tried out one of these disposable weapons? And that's where we end up with the Ice Dagger. The Ice Dagger is a weapon you could obtain from the Ice King boss with a 12.58% chance of dropping it. It's a dagger type weapon with its main gimmick being is that there's a huge chance of an icicle that drops on an enemy's head, dealing half the damage of the initial hit that spawned it in. This is if not one of the most unique gimmicks in the entire game. Now onto the stats. The weapon is a frost element weapon, I know, that has a base damage of 16, 20% swing speed, base 6 range, 15% extra crit chance, and 60% less knockback on hit. This weapon overall averages 18 and 26 DPS with no accessories, no nothing, etc. This weapon isn't much better from its other mid-game counterpart, even with the gimmick, since the Ice Dagger's base damage is 16 and the Tanto's base damage is 25. Also, the Ice Dagger is just RNG madness with its fucking gimmick, so yeah. But you'll get something out of the Ice Dagger if you like Insignia Gem, because compared to the Tanto specializes and uses heavy because of its heavy cooldown, and you know how you can proc the icicles the fastest? Insignia Gem, Bloodthirst. Okay, I could have used Liar for this, but its 15% crit chance means that we can just go nearly full crit with Sandpod Antenna. So here's the build. It's very traditional with all the bosses that have huge opportunities to get a lot of constant damage, but if you don't really like those type of builds and want something like a single hit crit heavy type of dagger, then you could just use one of those rogue Tanto builds but with Ice Dagger. Anyways, let's test this weapon's DPS on some bosses. This weapon's damage on some bosses in this stage is actually pretty good. So to show this, we'll be using the average mid-game loadout, which is just a non-crit build because stuff like Whetstone and Patrick is kind of early endgame in my opinion. But anyways, this weapon's damage on mid-game bosses like Sailor and Granny are really good for what boss you can get it from in the mid-game. As you can see in this footage right here, Sailor just kind of, you know, he takes a little bit of die, but he kind of gets shredded. But and also in the next footage, Granny, oh, she just, yeah, I'll just let the footage play for herself. Yeah, it just kind of, she just kind of just dies. But this weapon isn't really worth going for since King Sandpod drops Tanto, which is just a better version of this weapon, and it's way more compatible with the Rogue, which is also more fun. But you might still go for the Ice Dagger if you suck against King Sandpod, but I would suggest getting the Tanto anyway since this weapon's damage really falls off against the late mid-game to end-game bosses like Skeleton. Anyways, if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure to like and subscribe, and comment down which weapon I should check out next, and we'll see you fellers next time. Bye!